Verona, Lemurian crystals, felt truth. What's it all about? Let's dive into another exciting episode of The Conscious Collective. And welcome back. I'm Emily and I'm here with Lucy.
Hi.
So what's come up about Verona?
I know.
This just drops in literally half an hour ago.
Well, this is felt truth. So this is what we want to talk with you about today, because recently, Emily and I a lot are following our hearts and are being very, very guided by what we would describe as our felt truth, which is when you get that feeling that you it's an intuition, isn't it? It's your guidance telling you something.
Well, it's layered, isn't it? It's hard to actually define it. It's when you feel truth within
the truth is
yourself.
resonating within you. So I suppose with the Verona thing, it's, am I meant to go to Verona? Because I felt very guided to go to Verona to do some particular energy work. And when I ask myself the question, I can feel that it's true. Like there's no doubt in my mind. And so that's what we wanted to talk on today in lots of other ways as well, not just in the Verona story, because we come across it all the time at the moment. And we feel it's really important for us all as a collective to start really tuning into that felt truth. There's so much busyness in our lives. There's so much information. We're at this new age of so much information.
There really is, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's about discernment, yes. And we love the word discernment. But then also going deeper with that discernment and sitting with the truth. Does that feel true for me? And Emily and I have honestly just been talking about it a lot with each other, about our own lives and our own felt truth that we've been following. And we just feel that collectively it's game-changing for us all to move into that level of discernment.
It really is. I think it's something that we need to fine-tune. And especially with the introduction of AI and how much information that's providing us with, we've never had more exposure to more content and information. And really, we need to discern not what is right for the collective, but what is right for us as an individual. And I know that will land quite strongly probably in my gut first, but then my heart as well. It's a very solar plexus, heart chakra.
This way you feel your truth.
Yeah, but it's also a deep, deep knowing, though. It's hard to kind of separate.
And I think people feel it differently, don't they?
Well, yeah. How
would you agree? Yeah. For me, it is more of a knowing. It's just a yes.
It is.
It's like a felt yes. It's like, and I can be reading something, and I'm sure it's the same for you, but and everybody. And I think this is what we just need to just trust that felt truth, because we can be reading something and you just think, that doesn't feel true for me. And Emily and I were talking before we came on air, and we were saying, it's just pausing and trusting that. And I was saying that, there's so many authors out there, wonderful authors who have written incredible books or blogs or, Instagram posts or whatever. There's so many people sharing information, which is so, so wonderful. And I think when you have the filter of felt truth, it can be so helpful because we're getting extra truth information coming into our field, and it's amazing and it's helping expand our awareness. But then there is information in there that isn't true for you. And so I think it's just about being really discerning with that field of information that we're plugged into and tuned into, the fourth density, the 4D field of information. And also we were saying that people on our expansion and ascension and level of awareness journey, we're resonating at different frequencies. So I think it's worth just looking at it from a frequency perspective and talk about whether it's aligning or not aligning with your frequency. Because I think that's what we feel is really what we're looking at on a deeper level when we talk about felt truth. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it just brings up so much, doesn't it? And what is felt truth for me might not be felt truth for you or for you. And so having that discernment is just fundamental. And the more that you kind of find these envelopes and little pockets of fourth density, and you followed your felt truth, perhaps to Verona or to Avery or to pick up a specific crystal that you knew nothing about, and let go of the mind consciousness in that sense, in the logical mind, then the stories and the events that unfold are unbelievable. Unbelievable, the coincidences. And we're going to get more into that in another episode, actually.
Well, I just want to mention there that then that's what you're then following your soul's path and your authenticity. So this is what I wanted to just make sure that we covered today, which was, if you're following your felt truth, you are following the authentic path for you. You're saying yes to you and what feels right for you. And that's your soul. And so then when you follow that, you're making aligned decisions with your higher self, with your soul self. And it's interesting that the more you follow, and we've definitely experienced this in our lives, the more we're following those felt truths, the more we find our spiritual path really skyrocketing, and we're fulfilling our soul's purpose, because we're saying yes to things that our logical mind would have said no, would have said that doesn't make sense. Why would you want to do that? And what makes you want to do that? And the society says you can't just get up and go there, and there's so many
Y and Z.
Yes, societal, norms, what we hear from other people, from our families. A lot of us are being called to do things so differently. So differently.
Thank goodness, because the current paradigm's not working.
No. And if we have that layer of understanding that it's okay to follow your felt truth, I think a lot of us need that permission slip to sort of lean in and trust those discernments, that truth, the felt truth. Because I've had many conversations with beautiful souls recently about things that they've been faced with that didn't feel right for them. They really felt quite wrong. But the fact that there was a clash of somebody saying something who they respected, but then they felt they didn't align with that, it felt like a big no for them. Actually, it made that person question themselves. Isn't it funny how we instantly question ourselves, not that person? And that's so wrong, isn't it? But then what we can also then do is, so this particular person was a very sweet soul thinking, it's me. But then there could be another scenario where somebody comes with something to you that feels like a big no, and we can then judge them for that no, for that feeling that we're getting, that trigger, that felt truth of, I don't believe what they're saying, or I don't agree with it. It can make us move into judgment and think, you have a different view to me. That's wrong and I'm right. And really what I want to make the point here is that everybody's right. Everybody's on a different journey. Everyone's at different levels of resonance of awareness and understanding of the universe and what's right for them. We couldn't possibly say that what we feel is a no for them. Yeah. But we are allowed to have that felt truth for ourselves, and we must make the discernment around that. And if that means making sure that you don't sort of read any more content from that person or spend more time around that person, if you really feel that there's a mismatch of resonance, then that's when discernment comes in and we say, okay, I'm not judging that person. They're not wrong for them, but for me, that doesn't feel right. So I'm not going to consume any more from that person.
Absolutely. You can just say that feels like a mistruth to me.
Just doesn't feel right.
And just let that pocket of existence just continue, but know what feels right for you and what doesn't. It's so important, isn't it? Because I think it could be a test that we kind of somehow have set ourselves along this journey, that we will get these challenges of testing what we thought was true and what was not. I mean, I often when I try and understand the reality that we find ourselves in, because there's so much contrast, I sometimes just liken it to a movie. And, a lot of us are old souls here. It's a very populated time on earth. And we want that contrast and we want the drama. We're not here just to watch a cartoon, U-rated movie, with the Care Bear shining, just doing all that. Though I do like the Care Bears, and I might go back.
Spend a lot of time being a Care Bear.
But
Yeah,
but we get to that point where we want the
choice.
drama. We want the bad guy. We want the villains because it makes our learning and understanding so much more.
That's how we learn. You're so right.
It is. So when these challenges come up and you think, gosh, I really thought that person knew what they were talking about. Well, they probably do for a lot of it and a lot of what they share. Don't dismiss all of that. But when they mention a few things that just isn't quite right and doesn't land with you, that's your felt truth to know that that's not for you, or at least not on this time. And the more and more I listen to things, and I've been doing this for a few years now, especially with the spiritual work, is I'll just let it kind of just wash over me. And I'll have those moments where I'm like, it's black and white. Like the first time I had to go to Avebury, I was like, nope, I need to go. And then someone maybe there mentioned a Lemurian crystal. And so I hopped off to the little crystal store and bought it.
Yeah.
And then it was in a little package for months until I met up with you for the second time. And I was complaining about headaches and how I was taking 8 paracetamol a day and my energy medicine wasn't working and nothing would touch them. And you said to me, do you know what you need? You need a Lemurian crystal. And I went, you will not believe it. The one crystal I bought in Avebury the day we met was a Lemurian crystal. And he said, brilliant. That afternoon, go home and rest and just place it on your forehead and see what happens. And I just went, okay, fine. And I didn't have a headache for weeks and weeks and weeks. And my Lemurian is with me over the last few days because I feel I'm fighting something. And she keeps those headaches away, but it's that felt truth that I knew I needed to go to Avebury because otherwise this wouldn't have happened. This whole conscious collective, not in its form that it exists today, and that I needed to go to the shop and buy this crystal. And, it's those felt truths that my logical mind would never put all this together and unravel, and it's not meant to, right?
I think, you've really hit the nail on the head with just following your felt truth in particular, in that way. We couldn't possibly have planned any of the things that come from when we follow our callings to go to sacred sites and portals and things like that. We couldn't possibly have imagined.
No.
We couldn't have logically.
No.
And so I think this is why we're feeling quite called to share this felt truth in that kind of way, with that angle in particular, for anybody who's listening. And we're going to be sharing a lot more about the kind of things that we do because we do a lot, both together individually. I'm going to be doing a lot more together moving forward because we often get these callings to go to certain places, which, does test the mind, because the mind wants to look after us and wants to logic it all out. And it's difficult to do that sometimes. But when you lean into that felt truth, honestly, magic happens. There's no other way, no other word for it, because it's miracles and magic. And the reason, the definition of that is kind of the unexpected, isn't it? It's like magic is something that we can't understand with the logical mind, how something is created or done. And that's exactly what happens when we follow these felt truths. And when you follow your soul's callings, only miracles follow. And as long as you go along with it with a very, very open mind and open heart. And like I said, we'll share more about that moving forward and more guidance on how we go about those journeys, because I'm sure it must be interesting for people, because it isn't something that people are used to doing. Yeah. I know I wasn't, I was like, what am I doing? I'm getting in the car and I'm going here. Why? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I can assure you, having done it a lot, magic happens when you do. And it's just amazing. So we'll share more
in the next episode. But as you're talking, it's making me think that felt truth actually helps to unlock dormant DNA.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Within us. Do you not agree?
Yes, because I think it's the embodiment. It's our bodies that feel it a lot. And you mentioned that, the heart and the solar plexus, and it's unlocking things in your body. It's almost like honoring as well what your body is trying to tell you, or your higher self through your body, which is the DNA layer. So yeah, definitely.
And truth bumps, of course.
Truth
right?
bumps, yay!
And so those goosebumps when we get the confirmation, I mean, that's felt truth as well, isn't it?
Definitely. I'm so glad you mentioned that, Emily.
Yeah.
So many people feel them.
Yeah.
You know, that truth. I mean, you can't explain. You get freezing cold feelings, you know, on a warm, sunny day. You mentioned to me, didn't you?
Yeah, it was 30 degrees. I'd
And
been teaching. I was so hot. And I said a truth that I wasn't sure if it was true, but it was what, with full integrity, I was sharing what I believed was true. And I got all the goosebumps, all those truth bumps. And I thought,
It's beautiful confirmation, isn't it? I'd love to dig deeper into that because I think
it's all the biophotons that's coming off of our body and working with them. And I think that's how.
So it's your biofield kind of playing back to you almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's other resonance connecting with your biofield to give you that confirmation through your guides or your spiritual support team, really, in those envelopes of fourth and fifth density, without a doubt.
Lovely.
Yeah. So what was your felt truth about Verona? Do share.
Oh, yes. So it was about the Juliet balcony. Can you believe? So there was an advert for a movie and I really didn't want to watch the movie. I know that sounds really bizarre, but this is where we're going with felt truth and guidance. And it kept sort of popping up, this Letters to Juliet's the movie. And I was like, I really don't want to watch the movie. Why do I keep looking at this movie? Anyway, in the end, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this movie, even though I don't really want to, but okay. And so just as soon as it started, I realised it really came to me. It really landed.
And in what way?
The energy work that I needed to do there. So I hadn't even got into the story. I had just pressed play. And as soon as it started, they had the scene of the balcony and they had people putting letters on the wall underneath. They write to Juliet. And I was like, I had all the truth bumps. I've got them now as well. Okay. All the truth bumps because it came to me in that moment. And then the truth of it came to me, which was, you've got to go and you've got to clear the energy of all of those souls that have been there for, you know, so many years. I don't know when the story all began, but it's quite an old story. And so people have been going there and pilgrimaging.
With all that grief.
With their grief. And my guides told me that it was for the divine union healing, which makes so much sense, you know?
Makes sense.
But it didn't make sense why I was feeling like I needed to watch this movie. So it was, do you see what I mean? It's kind of, okay, I'm going to go with this. It feels like I need to do something that I don't know. I feel like I need to do something, but my logical brain isn't thinking that. So it's that kind of conflict is how I feel it in that capacity. So that's why I would describe that as like a felt truth as well. And so, yes, and so that's something that needs to be done. And I really want to share it with you. And it's something that Emily and I are planning on going there. And we will share it with you. We're going to record it and show you the kind of work that we do, because I do this kind of work a lot. I was down in Avebury doing this soul clearing, just there's a lot of burial mounds and a lot of ritual.
That day that you did that.
Yeah. And it's nice for people. I want you guys to know about it so that if it's felt truth for you, it might spark some soul remembering for you that that's something that you feel drawn to doing, and show you how easy it is and how if it's meant for you, then do it, because it's helping raise the frequency of the planet, because there's a lot of grief, there's a lot of heartache. So going back to Verona, you know, that's very deep depression, heartache, pain, very, very dense frequencies. You know, we've had a lot of war as well. It might be that you feel drawn to old, fields where there's been battlefields and war. I'm feeling that coming through for me already. It's like that could be the next thing for me. Tombs, places where there was ritual buryings, where there was a lot of grief. A lot of stagnancy, and it gets stuck there as frequency and as energy. And it's being revealed to me because I understand energy. I understand it. I read it. So when I watched that program, I saw the energetic understanding behind just a love story and, you know, just a sweet little rom-com. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
So it's following that kind of, well, that's true for me. It wouldn't be, anyone else would think, what?
Yeah.
What is she talking about? But for me, it's my truth.
And so do you think that the more that you listen to your felt truths, the more you get, or the stronger you know them?
Yes,
and
that's very
what
true.
kind
that's
of
a really good point.
Difference does it make you as an individual? for your family, for your friends?
I feel like it's so hard to describe. It feels like soul work. It feels like work. I said to Emily, I feel like I just want to go there, do it, and go back again. Because I feel like I'm not going there as a holiday.
Yeah.
And I don't want to belittle that experience, but that's how it feels to me. It feels like
it does
a
feel
job.
like work and clearing.
A job. Like I want a job that I really feel strongly drawn to going and doing. And so, yes, I think definitely the more we listen, we answer the call. And I think Emily's really experienced that recently with the crop circle, which we're going to come on to for the next episode. We're going to properly talk about this crop circle calling that Emily had. Because when you follow it...
What's happening to my life? It was like with this Lemurian crystal, my husband, because it works so well, he was like, do you have your crystal? I was like, I cannot believe my husband is chasing me around, like with a crystal, going, make sure you have it before you go out. I was
Get with you. That's adorable. Well done, Crystal.
Yeah. But I think it is with these felt truths. The more that we have them, the more that we start to understand ourselves, don't we? And what really makes us tick. And even if we don't understand that all at once, it's just kind of peeling back the layers of the onion, isn't it? Until we really find our true light and just let it shine. And
sorry to interrupt you, but do you remember we were talking about authenticity as well? And it's really come through recently.
It brings us down to that authentic truth.
I think, and it raises our frequency as well. So this is the point, is that authenticity is, I heard recently that it's even higher frequency than love for the planet. So imagine us all starting to listen to our felt truth,
isn't it? That authenticity.
It's
I didn't quite understand
the
it
new
when
age.
you first said that, but I do now. So the more authentic we are, the higher frequency and vibration that we're emitting.
Yeah.
And I guess the more light we can hold.
Yeah.
And the more light we can dispel.
Well, because that's our higher self, isn't it? So that's our more...
So we're moving more into our
celestial being self. And so that's definitely bringing your light body, your embodying your light more.
Yeah.
And that's what people say, don't they? Shine your light, embody your light. And then you are of a higher frequency for the planet. So imagine all of us lighting up even brighter because we're being ourselves. And that collectively is lifting the frequency. I can see it too. It's pretty, isn't it?
So please be yourself.
Be yourself.
Please be yourself. And please drop some comments down below. When have you felt truth? When have you really felt it? And what difference has it made in your lives if you're happy to share that? Because the more that we share these stories, the easier it is for others to say, I'm having a really hard day. I'm going to just, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to do drugs. I'm going to go find a crop circle. I mean, how bizarre is that? And but then it makes everyone around me so much happier, and then all these fantastic stories unfold. And yeah, I think we just really want to encourage you to lean into more of that felt truth. Don't look for it. Just acknowledge it when it rises. Be curious by it, and
let it lead you.
Yeah, maybe start to journal a little bit about it and share it. We want to hear your stories, beautiful people.
And actually, I think that's one more thing. Sorry, I'll just add really quickly. But you said about journaling, and that's such a good point, because sometimes, and I know people have asked me this question, in the moment, it can be confusing to understand, especially at first, what that is. It truth you're feeling? Is it fear? Are you being triggered? And all the feelings can be a little bit muddled. And so my advice is to take some time over whatever it is. Don't react. Take some time over it. That goes from not feeling the truth when somebody's speaking to you or something you're reading. Don't have like a hot reaction to it of that's wrong, I'm right, da 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 da. Like cool off and
well, notice where you felt that. That's the truth of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where did you feel that when someone said something to you? Where did you feel that? And then was that true? And was it their truth?
Yeah, unpick it. Yeah, were they projecting their truth on you? Has it triggered something within you that still needs healing? But the only way really that you're going to to understand it is to allow some time. And I think that's the biggest thing with anything, any of this intuition
have
coming
that patience, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think it's something that we need to learn at this time. So again, with like getting an intuition to go somewhere, is that just an impulse or is that a real soul calling? So with the Verona thing, wow, it felt really, really strong. But my intention was not to book a flight and go there the next day because I wanted to feel, was that really what I felt, and give myself a bit of time.
Understand it too, right?
And logic out how that's going to work.
Yeah.
But anyway, but also journaling. I just wanted to say journaling, also dropping into your heart. So if you have got something coming up, before you react, before you do anything, take some time to drop out of the mind, because the mind isn't going to give you answers. The felt truth comes from the heart and in the body. So drop into the body, drop into the heart, drop into the breath, and then you will be able to start uncovering that a little bit more and go a bit deeper with that feeling that you had.
That's beautiful. Good. That's beautiful.
I hope that helps people.
I feel like a journaling event coming up. I feel like we should work with this. But anyway, we'll close our beautiful episode for today. We love to hear from you. And thank you so much for liking and subscribing. We can't believe that we've had over 100,000 views. We're just amazed. Please share, continue to share what you're enjoying. And we just have so much love and gratitude. And
we do.
We know we're very happy and very blessed. So joyful blessings, everyone. Until next time.
Bye, love.
Bye. Thanks for joining us today. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you want to work with us directly, see the show notes below. Thank you.